Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid-South Wrestling Review for the 23rd of October, 1982. And we're going to have, hopefully, a few more of these shows up overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Also, going to have Dark, AEW Dark, and Impact reviews as well as Raw from last night. So, lots of content for those of you who are here. Please subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. In any event, we move into the end of the month of October here in 1982. For those that are new, we are doing a deep dive into weekly episodic television here in Mid-South, and that is the goal. Hopefully, the goal is to have that finished by January 1st. Don't know how that'll go, but I can hope. Anyway, and then we're going to move on to another territory after that, and rinse and repeat and all that good stuff. Goal to have the largest audio archive of professional wrestling television reviews possible, and do some interviews next year. So if you would like to be a person to be interviewed, follow on Twitter at PO Perception. We can make that happen. Rick Harris in Mr. Wrestling 2 starts us off. Harris, obviously, a relative newcomer to the area. He's been here for a couple of months. He hasn't really found his niche as of yet, although he's pretty basic and kind of simple. Mr. Wrestling 2, of course, a big deal in Georgia. Jim Ross in and out as a semi-regular announcer, which is kind of cool. I love Ross I love Ross up through his WWE Raw work around 95, 96, whenever that started. I did not enjoy that version of Jim Ross. I know a lot of people grew up with it. A lot of people did. It wasn't for me. And then I do enjoy his AEW stuff about 80% of the time. Anyway, Wrestling 2 goes to work on the arm of Harris. It takes him over pretty easily and simply. Works on the arm for a couple of minutes. Arm bars, hammer locks, and the like. Harris makes his way back up. Cheap shot to the midsection. And clubbing forearms across the neck and spine. Then we see Wrestling 2 brawl back a little bit. Never one to take a complete backward step. Wrestling 2 manages to continue the brawl and get a victory with a knee lift there. DiBiase and Duggan versus Allen and Lundy. Lundy, and of course, goes on to be Arn Anderson over the next couple of years. Ted Allen, one of the Nightmares, is a pretty big deal as well. And of course, Lundy, a guy, I would say Arn Anderson in one of my top 10 all-time favorite wrestlers. I think that's pretty reasonable, actually. Of course, I grew up with his WWF run being a pretty big deal, so a fan there. Easy hip tosses early by DiBiase and a body slam. Most of the work on Allen in the early stages. Tag off to Duggan, and that goes kind of, as you would expect it to go. Duggan with a bit more brawling, a bit more power, and DiBiase comes back in, hits a power slam, among other things, sends Allen into the ropes. The baby blue / powder blue tights on Arn Anderson, aka Marty Lundy, a pretty big deal clothesline by Duggan, and Duggan with the old Brody style stomp. Always cool to see Duggan a little more aggressive. Tag into Lundy, and DiBiase goes to work on him pretty easy. I actually would have liked to have seen them do battle, with more experience. Never had the chance to do it. Big clothesline by DiBiase, and then the leaping kind of flying tackle spear by Duggan. 1, 2, 3 gets him a victory. Bob Stabler against Kamala, and that match is exactly what you'd expect it to be. Kamala has yet to really be challenged. Punch, kick, basic stuff. Actually, by the time he gets to world class a little bit later, Kamala has more experience, and I actually like his world class run a little better than I'm liking this run here. Of course, that'll probably change by sometime next year, as he has more experience under his belt. But chops and basic stuff here. Then we see Kamala going for some chokes. Really simple and then a few more chops, back kick, and a big splash, and a win for Kamala. The Grapplers versus the Junkyard Dog and Mr. Olympia. The Grapplers are a dual mask tag team. Pretty big deal there. And of course, that's Len Denton and Tony Anthony under the masks. Please don't ask me to tell them apart because under the masks I could not. Junkyard Dog comes in with one of the grapplers, tags off to Olympia. So there's three masked guys in one match here. Olympia stays on one of the grapplers pretty well. They cut the ring off for a little bit and get some heat and aggression out by doing some cheating. A big thump by the Junkyard Dog a few minutes later gets him a victory there, and of course, Dog in a successful position. Vladlik Smirnov versus Tim Horner. Up next, Smirnov, a relative newcomer. I don't know if they have plans for a major push with him or what that looks like, but he is with Skanner Akbar, so they must be trying to do at least a little something with him. Akbar encourages him to get in there. Horner, of course, I believe in his rookie year, if not very close to it. Punches and kicks by Smirnov, really basic offensive strategy. Nothing that is really too aggressive or assertive in terms of him getting anywhere long term, but some punches, some kicks, clothesline almost kind of like a Russian sickle, and then we see a backbreaker from him. He also gets some ride time with a reverse chinlock and some shots to the back. Horner does get a couple of arm drags, and that's about it actually. He takes a pretty good beating in this match, so still an enhancement talent situation. Try to wear down, does Smirnoff with a bear hug before getting his victory. In any event, we move on to Vinny Romo versus Iron Mike Sharp. Sharp's been a big deal here ever since, well, who knows exactly when, but he's been a big deal nonetheless. Probably for most of 82, if not all of 82 by this point. But I think there was a part of 82 that he was not part of, but he's part of most of it. And then we kind of see him with a bit more of a brawler's style. Grabs the arm, stays on it, goes, I wouldn't say crazy, but he's pretty aggressive in there. Sharp manages to make his way out of top wrist locks and the like, and then he goes to work on the arm, hits the rowboat on the arm, cross arm breaker, tries to get a submission, doesn't get it, and Sharp eventually manages to get the hanging backbreaker as a victory method here. So that is, again, continuation that Iron Mike Sharp is a pushed talent. We move into the last match of the day, although we do close with a promo. Kelly Kiniski and Jesse Barr. Kelly Kiniski, a second-generation superstar. Jesse Barr, a second-generation superstar. Really basic match. They're given 5-6 minutes in there. Ride time, sit-outs, basic stuff. Both guys coming out ahead, although I would say Kiniski has a slight edge over Barr due to a little bit more weight and more stocky build. Barr does take him down, though, with a side headlock takeover and a wrist lock at the same time. That continues for quite a bit, quite a while, and then they both get back to their feet. However, Barr manages to take his man right back down, so Jesse Barr finally getting, I guess you'd say, some respect in the area of some duplicitous nature. Anyway, then we see the continuation of the contest, and, you know, I like these matches because you can put them on opening matches or second matches at house shows and get time out of them, because putting together a house show completely different than putting together television. Anyway, ducks the clothesline and a dropkick under the chin by Barr, and Kiniski again winds himself up down on the mat. And then we see a way to finish this. Head scissors by Kaniski, and again we move into the side headlock takeover. Really super simple stuff. And then we move to a win for Kaniski. Duggan and DiBiase out, basically saying they want to eliminate JYD and Mr. Olympia. They want the tag team belts. They want more respect. They want all of these things, and they're going to go get them. And that is the close for this particular program. We'll be back with more right after this.